it's hard to stay with one person for a period of time. And
ever wonder what secrets the music industry's biggest stars are hiding? Get ready to dive into the scandalous world of 25 musician stars who secretly fathered love children. It's a tale of hidden relationships, shocking revelations, and untold stories that will leave you speechless. Let's uncover the truth together. 25. Liv Tyler.
So I wasn't on the market, but yeah.
A famous last name with a surprising twist. How did Liv Tyler discover her rock star roots? Liv Tyler was 11 years old in August 1988 when she looked up at a poster of Aerosmith frontman Steven Tyler on her bedroom wall and came to a realization that would rock her entire existence. My mom has a diary entry or something where I wrote, "I think Steven is my father," she explained in 1997. Soon afterward, she confronted her mother, model and musician Bebe Buell, and discovered that her suspicion was correct. Up until that point, Liv believed that Utopia singer Todd Rundgren was her biological father. Buell, who was the Miss November 1974 Playboy Playmate, had a brief fling with Steven in late 1976, which ultimately resulted in their daughter's birth in New York City the following July. Rundgren knew there was a chance he wasn't Liv's father, but he signed her birth certificate, gave her his last name, and stepped in to raise her as his own anyway. Buell had decided to keep the paternity a secret from Liv because of Steven's reported drug addiction at the time. She has said that she and Rundgren made a pact that he would be Liv's father, and if it ever became an issue, we'd tell her at 18. After discovering the truth, she and Steven began fostering a father-daughter relationship, and she eventually changed her last name from Rundgren to Tyler. When she was in high school, Liv appeared alongside Alicia Silverstone in Aerosmith's 1994 Crazy music video, and they teamed up again professionally in 1998 when Steven's band contributed to the rock ballad "I Don't Want to Miss a Thing" to her movie Armageddon. 24. Ray Charles's kids. The legend had a secret side. What untold stories do Ray Charles's children hold? Ray's oldest child is now 73, while his youngest is 36. His first marriage was to beautician Eileen Williams, and he had been married twice. In 1951, Ray, then 24, married Williams, but their union ended a year later in 1952. Afterward, in 1955, Della Howard Robertson, the pianist's ex-wife, wed him again. They had 3 sons, Ray Jr., David, and Robert. After 20 years together, Ray and Robinson divorced in 1977. The breakup of Ray and Robinson's marriage was caused by Ray's infidelity, including 2 paternity suits. Margie Hendricks, one of his Raylettes backup singers, bore Charles Wayne Hendricks, the Georgia native's son. In Harlem, Hendricks gave birth to their son, and Ray paid the bills and promised to take care of him. Hendricks lives a private life away from the public eye. However, he became a celebrity in 2013 when he and his half-siblings won a lawsuit to stop the termination of song rights. It was a difficult time for Charles Wayne Hendricks when his mother passed away when he was still a child. After her father fired her for having an affair with trumpeter John Hunt, she died in 1973. When Hendricks was still married to his second wife, Robinson, he met Ray. When Hendricks was 23 years old, she had moved to New York to live with her older sister, Lula. She slept with Ray regularly until she discovered she was pregnant. After discussing their new circumstances, they decided to keep the child. In 1959, Hendricks was born, but his father and mother did not see him as often as they would have liked. She died after Ray fired Hendricks, leaving behind their young child. 23. Connor Clapton. Tragedy and legacy intertwined. What became of Eric Clapton's son Connor? Clapton welcomed son Connor Clapton with Italian television personality Laurie Del Santo on August 21st, 1986. He tragically died in New York City on March 20th, 1991, after falling 49 stories out of an open window. According to a 1991 report from the New York Times, a window was left open after it was cleaned by a housekeeper. The guitarist has previously opened up in interviews about his son's death, recalling the moment that Del Santo called him to tell him the news. "I remember putting the phone down and calmly walking from my hotel in New York City to that place as if nothing happened," he said. "And I walked past the street, and this is a terrible thing of shame for me, which I'll never, ever perhaps recover from. And seeing a crowd of people in a paramedic van and knowing that he was there, trying to be resuscitated and walking by, I'll punish myself forever about why I didn't run. Why didn't I go to see him? The truth is I couldn't. I was so frightened." Clapton's Tears in Heaven was inspired by Connor's tragic death and has become one of the musician's most popular and has resonated with many of his fans. 22. Jonathan Burker. Living in the shadow of fame. What's life like for Tom Jones's unacknowledged son? Sir Tom Jones told us all he's a sex bomb, so it's surely no surprise that the She's a Lady hitmaker also has an estranged son. Tom has two sons, but one of which is rarely spoken of. His eldest son, Mark Woodward, is the only child from Tom's marriage to his late wife, Melinda Trenchard. But Mark also has a half-sibling, Jonathan Burker. However, they are not believed to be in touch, nor is Tom said to have much of a relationship with his younger son. So what happened, and why are they estranged? Tom Jones's youngest child is Jonathan Burker. He was the outcome of a short-lived fling between the then-married Tom and 24-year-old model Katherine Burker. Their relationship began in 1987 and is said to have lasted just a few days. However, Katherine became pregnant and later gave birth to their son Jonathan. Despite a DNA test in 1989 proving that Jonathan was his son, Tom refused to publicly address the matter for decades. In fact, it was only in 2008, upon the release of a new music album, that Tom finally confirmed he is the father. Tom Jones and Jonathan Burker are not believed to have ever met in person. Jonathan said he grew up hoping his dad would reach out, but he only ever provided financial support. In an interview with the Daily Mail, Jonathan said he had fallen upon hard times as an adult and had even been homeless for several years. Speaking back in 2013, Jonathan said, "It all stems back to my dad. I don't think I realized it for a long time, but I was one angry kid crying out for a father. He is now a musician himself and still holds out hope his dad will get in touch one day." 21. Joanni Jackson. A hidden branch of the Jackson family tree. Who is Joanni Jackson? Katherine and Joe Jackson were Michael's parents, and he was number 8 of 10 children. From oldest to youngest, Rebby, Jackie, Tito, Jermaine, LaToya, Marlon, whose twin Brandon died in childbirth, Michael, Randy, and Janet. They became famous throughout the 1970s and 80s, first with the Jackson 5, then the Jacksons and the girls had solo careers. Janet was the most successful after appearing in the popular television show Fame, followed by her blockbuster Rhythm Nation 1814 album in 1989 and world tour the following year. However, have you ever heard of Joanni Jackson? Joanni is the daughter of the late Joe Jackson and his girlfriend of 25 years, Cheryl Terrell. Joanni grew up less than 10 kilometers away from her famous siblings, but Joe wanted to keep her hidden away from the prying press. Joanni was born the day after Michael's 16th birthday, and in her book, recalled what it was like being an outsider in one of the world's most famous families. "I was very aware that I was in the Jackson family growing up. I saw them on TV. I listened to their music," she told the British press in a 2018 interview. "But I was hidden away, kept secret for years. not able to become part of the family. It was hurtful. The book also relates how she was bullied at school for being Michael's sister. Joe Jackson did eventually tell his family about Giovanni, but they would not accept her. 20. Lourdes Leon.
When I started off and people called me the material girl, like, it was meant to be ironic. You understand that, right? Not to be
Madonna's firstborn with a mysterious start. What secret does Lourdes Leon carry? Lourdes Leon is Madonna's first child, and she was born on October 14, 1996, to Madonna and her ex-partner Carlos Leon. They were never married. In a May 2019 interview with British Vogue, Madonna said that she adores how insanely talented Lourdes is. I'm green with envy because she's incredible at everything she does. She's an incredible dancer, she's a great actress, she plays the piano beautifully, she's way better than me in the talent department, the Like a Virgin singer said. Lourdes works as a fashion model, making her runway debut in 2018 at New York Fashion Week for the brand Gypsy Sport. In a September 2021 interview with Vogue, the fashionista said that she paid her own way in college and lived in Brooklyn, New York by herself. Perhaps not surprisingly, controversial pop icon Madonna has had not one but two love children. The first, her daughter Lourdes, was born in 1996 to the singer and her personal trainer boyfriend, Carlos Leon. The second, Lourdes' half-brother Rocco, is the son of British film director Guy Ritchie. While Madonna and Leon never wed, she did walk down the aisle with Guy just 4 months after Rocco's birth. The couple later adopted a son, David, in 2006, but split in 2008, which caused a bit of a headache for Madonna when she went back to Malawi to adopt another child on her own. But the material girl won out in the end and was granted sole custody of Little Mercy in 2009. 19. Nona Gaye. Marvin Gaye's daughter with a tale of her own. How did Nona Gaye emerge from the shadows? As the dawn of the 1970s brought forth new creative freedoms for Marvin, exemplified by his groundbreaking release, What's Going On, his personal life also underwent significant changes. At 33, he found himself enamored with Janice Hunter, who was only 16 at the time. Their romance swiftly escalated, resulting in the birth of their first child, even as Marvin's marriage to Anna lingered unresolved. The landscape of American marital dynamics was shifting dramatically when Anna initiated divorce proceedings in 1975, the same year that national divorce statistics reached a milestone, surpassing 1 million. A multitude of factors contributed to this surge: shifts in societal values, diminished religious influence, reformed divorce legislation, and an emerging culture that prioritized individual rights over communal obligations. A stark contrast from previous generations that valued loyalty and duty, such as Marvin's mother, who endured an abusive marriage without seeking separation. Amidst these evolving attitudes toward marriage and divorce, Marvin resisted conforming to legal mandates following the dissolution of his union with Anna. Ordered to pay substantial sums for alimony and child support, he defiantly rebuffed compliance. His actions and words outside the recording studio revealed a less accommodating side, one that was unapologetically chauvinistic and resistant to change, incongruent with the sensitivity often attributed to his musical persona. 18. Gemma Gallagher. The rock star's daughter who stayed out of the limelight. What's Gemma's story? Oasis singer Liam Gallagher was married to Nicole Appleton when he fathered a child with American music writer Liza Gorbani. Gallagher reportedly decided to tell his then-wife about his indiscretions over the phone, and it resulted in Appleton leaving him. But that wasn't the last of it. What followed was a lengthy child support battle between Gallagher and Gorbani, who, according to the Mirror, he met in 2010 when she was doing a piece on him and his daughter Molly for the New York Times. Gemma was born in January of 2013, and in March of 2015, it was revealed that the pair had reached a settlement. although it remains confidential. It's unclear whether Gallagher has a relationship with Gemma, but she is the rocker's fourth child. 17. Dhani Harrison. Carrying the Beatles' legacy. What challenges did Dhani Harrison face? George Harrison found inspiration in many people throughout his storied career, including his son. The late Beatles singer and his then fiancée, soon-to-be wife, Olivia Harrison, welcomed their only child, Dhani, on August 1st, 1978. Harrison, who is a follower of the Hare Krishna sect of Hinduism, named his son after the 6th and 7th notes on the Indian music scale, Da and Ni. Though the Beatles disbanded years before his birth, Dhani still grew up around music thanks to his dad's solo career. He's lovely, Harrison told People in 1987 of his then 9-year-old son. He's good fun, good company. He can play When We Was Fab on the piano. Harrison wrote several songs for Dhani over the years, including 1982's Unknown Delight. He was saying, "What should I write about? What should I write a song about?" Olivia told NPR of her husband in a 2004 interview. "I said, write a song about Dhani." And he wrote this beautiful song, which was very prescient, actually. Dhani was born on August 1st, 1978 in Berkshire, England, and was raised on his dad's estate, Friar Park. His birth came 8 years after the Beatles broke up, and Harrison moved on to a more quiet life on his 62-acre home. 16. B.B. King's children. The blues legend's many children. What do they reveal about B.B. King's life? In the years since blues legend B.B. King passed away, several of the 15 adults who claim to be his children are locked in a legal battle with his estate's trustee over who gets a piece of his fortune, estimated to be worth anywhere between $5 and $40 million, according to The Hollywood Reporter. King was married twice, though neither resulted in any children. But over the course of his life, a total of 15 individuals came forward claiming he was their father by 15 different mothers, and the musician refused to dispute any of the claims. Every time my dad got more famous, I found out about a new sister. I was happy at first, and then nobody gets along and I stopped being happy, Shirley King, the singer's eldest, said. I saw him work all his life to take care of the family, and that's what it should have stayed like. It got really bad before he left this earth, and then it just went totally haywire. While he was alive, King was known to be exceedingly generous in helping his children, paying college tuition and setting up trust funds. But that type of largesse has evaporated since his business manager, Laverne Toney, became trustee of his estate. My dad told us, "Even when I'm gone, I'm gonna take care of you." But we haven't received a dime since he died. We got a lawyer and we are trying to fight and get what belongs to us, Riley B. King, the singer's 67-year-old son, said. Laverne got everything. She stole everything. 15. Aisha Morris. Stevie Wonder's daughter with an enchanting story. How did Aisha Morris carve her own path? Stevie Wonder was married twice and conceived 9 children with at least 4 different women. There were very likely more than 4 women, however, since we don't know much about most of his kids. One of his daughters is worth mentioning, Aisha Morris, who provided the inspiration for his song Isn't She Lovely, and is now a singer in her own right. Aisha also became a singer in her own right, appearing on stage alongside Wonder for many of his tours. In 2006, the father-daughter pair were nominated for a Grammy for Best R&B Performance by a Duo or Group with Vocals for How Will I Know? Aisha was also featured on a track called Positivity. 14. James Brown and His Children. The Godfather of Soul's hidden legacy. What's the untold story of James Brown's child? James Brown was married 4 times and had at least 12 children, but we're not sure how many women were in the mix. We don't know the specifics of when many of Brown's children were born or with whom he had them, but we know that he acknowledges 9 of them, 5 sons and 4 daughters. In 2007, it was brought to light that he had at least 3 additional illegitimate children, and we can only imagine how many others might be out there. 13. Ted Nugent.
None of us will ever know unless there's evidence that we're not aware of yet.
The Wild Rockers' surprising family ties. Who are Ted Nugent's secret children? Nugent has reportedly confessed to fathering a child out of wedlock with a Dover, New Hampshire woman who is suing the 70s rocker for child support and custody. According to the local Foster's Daily Democrat newspaper, the plaintiff, 43-year-old Karen Gutowski, filed suit against the 55-year-old Nugent last August, claiming he has provided little in the way of financial aid for their unidentified 8-year-old child, despite making millions from album sales, touring, and other revenue streams. Gutowski's attorney, Jeffrey Runge, told the newspaper that the musician, radio and TV host, and noted outdoor enthusiast has acknowledged paternity of the young boy, but has never met the tyke and refused to provide proper financial support. Given the fact that he's worth millions and millions of dollars, he's paying the amount someone making about $20,000 per year would pay, Runge told the Daily Democrat in September. I don't know what his assets are, so I don't know the amount. She only wants what she's legally entitled to on behalf of the child. But Nugent, who has 2 sons and 2 daughters with wife Shermaine Nugent, isn't going to open his wallet without a fight. Nugent filed his own petition asking a family court to make appropriate orders concerning the legal custody of the minor child and appropriate custodial and visitation rights on his behalf. 12. Keith Richards' kids. Living with a Rolling Stone. What secrets do Keith Richards' children hold? Keith Richards is married to former model and actress Patty Hansen. They were married in 1983 on Richards' 40th birthday and remain married to this day. It was the only time Richards has been married, despite being in a relationship with style icon and it girl Anita Pallenberg between 1967 and 1979. Keith Richards had 2 children, Marlon Leon Sundeep Richards and Dandelion Angela Richards with Anita Pallenberg. He also has 2 daughters with Hansen, Theodora Dupree Richards and Alexandra Nicole Richards. When Richards was in a relationship with Anita Pallenberg, they sadly lost their son Tara Jojo Gunn after 2 months to sudden infant death syndrome. 11. Berry Gordy's kids. From Motown royalty. What untold tales come from Berry Gordy's offspring? Berry Gordy, the president of Motown Records, was married 3 times and had 8 children with 6 different women. 2 of his kids have interesting stories. Kennedy William Berry became popularly known as the Motown musician Rockwell in the 80s. Berry's youngest son, Stefan Kendall Berry, is better known as Red Foo from the contemporary duo LMFAO, with the other member, Sky Blue, being Gordy's grandson from another one of his children. Berry also had an affair and a daughter with Motown singer Diana Ross, who was arguably the most successful female singer to come out of that era of music. 10. Paul Inder. Lemmy Kilmister's son with a rock and roll destiny. What's Paul Inder's story? At the age of 17, Lemmy met a holidaying girl named Kathy. He followed her to Stockport, where she gave birth to his son Sean, who was put up for adoption. In the 2010 documentary film Lemmy, he mentioned having a son whose mother had only recently reconnected with him and hadn't got the heart to tell him who his father was. Later, during his time with the Rockin' Vickers, he slept with a woman in Manchester named Tracy. She had a son, Paul Inder, whom Lemmy met 6 years later. As an adult, Inder became a guitarist and occasionally joined Lemmy on stage. 9. Ludacris's Forbidden Child. The rapper's unexpected revelation. Who is Ludacris's forbidden child? Rapper Ludacris and his wife Eudoxie have been together for a decade, and while they are often described as #couple goals, Their relationship has had its share of unique challenges. Back in 2014, it was announced that Ludacris fathered a child with his longtime friend, a woman named Tamika Fuller. Fuller gave birth to their daughter, Kai Bella, in late 2013, and in December 2014, Eudoxie and Luda married on the same day they became engaged. Their relationship was wrought with controversy as both the rapper and his Gabonese model wife were criticized in the press and on social media. Luda and Fuller's court battle over custody of their daughter was highly publicized as scathing words were exchanged in court. In 2015, the rapper was awarded primary custody, and since that time, his blended, blissful family has continued to grow. Recently, Eudoxie sat down with singers LaToya Luckett Walker and Carrie Hilson for If Not For My Girls, a series presented by Essence and Coca-Cola. A clip of Eudoxie was shared on social media where she says, "If not for my girls, I would be in relationships in places that no longer serve me. If not for you two specifically, I would still have been in really toxic relationships. Both of you, in your own ways, have helped me have that bird's eye view of reality because love can be blinding." 8. Fuchsia Katherine Sumner. The offspring of Sting with an intriguing life. What's Fuchsia Katherine Sumner's story? The Police frontman and solo artist Sting has 6 children, including a daughter, Fuchsia Katherine, with actress Frances Tomelty before his marriage to Trudy Styler. Fuchsia was born to Sting and Frances on April 17, 1982. She has decided to go the acting route and has starred in various films such as Saving Mr. Banks and Billionaire Boys Club. She's also worked as a director, writer, and producer, and loves sharing fun and gorgeous pics of herself on social media. 7. Caris Jagger. Mick Jagger's lesser-known daughter. What secrets lie in Caris Jagger's past? Jagger shares his oldest daughter, Caris Hunt Jagger, with former American actress Marsha Hunt. She was born on November 4, 1970. Caris graduated from Yale with a history degree in 1992 before working as a film production assistant. She married husband Jonathan Watson in 2000 and has since welcomed 2 children, Maisie and Zach. Caris is an executive producer of Netflix High on the Hog, How African American Cuisine Transformed America. And although her personal Instagram profile is private, she shares a public account with her friend and fellow executive producer Fabian Toback, where the two document their lives. 2 women of color sharing their love of food, friendship, and culture, and film, their profile reads. 6. Drake's secret child. The hidden child of a hip-hop icon. What led Drake to reveal his secret son? Toronto's arguably finest rap export was himself the child of separated parents, and has let it be known multiple times that he didn't want to recreate that same situation for his own child. Well, guess what? History repeated itself. After months of speculation, rumors, and even a diss track about his supposed love child with former adult actress Sophie Brousseau, Drake finally came clean. Fans of the star need not worry. Drake has since seemingly taken to the role quite fully, even publishing gushing posts on social media about his son. When the going gets tough, hopefully he can reassure himself with the knowledge that it is just a part of God's plan. 5. Royalty. Chris Brown's daughter with a regal name. What's the story behind Royalty? The arrival of Chris Brown's adorable little girl, Royalty, was the start of one relationship with his daughter and the end of his relationship with longtime girlfriend Karrueche Tran. In March of 2015, reports first emerged that Brown had a 9-month-old daughter with former model Nia Guzman-Amy. According to TMZ, at the time the pair were not together romantically, but they were amicable. However, in the years that have followed, they have been involved in child support and custody disputes. Guzman-Amy wants to retain full custody of her daughter, a request which a California judge denied. The good news is that Brown has a great relationship with his little girl and appears to really love her. He's even dedicated songs to her, and his 6th solo album is entitled Royalty. He also seems to spend a lot of time with her, and she makes regular appearances on his social media. 4. DMX and his kids. The rapper's complex family tree. What hidden stories do DMX's kids tell? Earl Simmons, better known as DMX, has a lot of children. I mean, when I last stopped counting, the tally was at a whopping total of 15. DMX's last child was a son, Exodus Simmons, who the rapper welcomed with girlfriend Desiree Lindstrom in August of 2016. However, prior to this relationship, he was married to Tashera Simmons and had multiple affairs and children outside of their union. While Tashera bore DMX 4 children, she eventually had enough of his cheating ways. He also fathered 10 other children during this time, and she filed for divorce in 2012. According to Daily Mail, in 2013, DMX was paying child support in excess of $1 million. And in 2015, DMX was unable to afford his child support, which reportedly resulted in him being sentenced to 6 months in prison for the failure to pay $400,000. 3. Chynna Phillips.
It's hard to stay with one person for a period of time, and it hasn't been longer than 5 years.
Part of the Wilson Phillips trio. How does Chynna Phillips's legacy connect to her parents' fame? Chynna Phillips was born in Los Angeles, California to singing greats John and Michelle Phillips, members of the popular 60s folk rock band The Mamas and the Papas. She grew up amidst film greats such as Warren Beatty and Jack Nicholson. Phillips and the Wilson sisters had known each other since they were infants, and as children had a backyard band they called the Satellites. After graduating from high school, Phillips delved into a modeling acting career. She was cast in John Hughes' film Some Kind of Wonderful and had a starring role in The Invisible Kid. Owen Elliott, daughter of ex-mama Cass Elliott, had suggested uniting 60s musicians' children together to do a charity album. After receiving a less than favorable response, Chynna joined with the Wilsons in 1986 and became Wilson Phillips. 2. Scarlet Page. Jimmy Page's daughter with a unique perspective. What untold stories does Scarlet Page share? Scarlet Lilith Elida Page is an English photographer. She is the daughter of Led Zeppelin guitarist Jimmy Page and Charlotte Martin, a French model. Born in London, she grew up in England and stayed at both Plumpton Place in East Sussex, 1971 to 1979, and later the Old Mill House in Mill Lane, Berkshire, where she also learned to play the piano. She was also a passenger in the car driven by Robert Plant's wife Maureen on the Greek island of Rhodes on August 4th, 1975, when their hired Austin Mini skidded off the road and collided with a tree. Page was uninjured. 1. Sarah Streeter. The secret daughter of a rock legend. What's the story of Rod Stewart's daughter, Sarah Streeter? Sarah was born after Rod had a fling with art student Susanna Bofi. He was just 17 when she was born, and Sarah was adopted by Evelyn and Gerald Thubron. She did not find out about her background until she was 18, and the pair seldom met. But the singer got back in touch when Evelyn died in 2007. The pair now have a closer relationship, and multimillionaire Rod has helped his daughter financially. Rod, who has 8 children to 5 women, has also introduced Sarah to all of her half-siblings except Sean, who has also battled addiction. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more. Don't forget to check out our other videos for more juicy stories and secrets. See you next time!